Why is it? Ah, that's why it's so freaking loud. There we go. Welcome back. I pushed one of the sliders on my machine up a bit too far. It's not what we want, of course. New day of, what do you call this? What was I gonna say? Of Masters Coliseum, there we go. Masters Coliseum 7 today. That's what we're watching. It's not live yet, but it's on the way. What's up, Ryvan? Good to see you, buddy. Ooh, do I have my phone on me? I do have my phone on me. You'll have to see it. All the leaves are brown. Are you first, Rice Richards? It does look to me like you're first. I could be wrong, but I think you're first. And the sky is gray. And the sky is gray. I've been photoballed. Serral Solar Hype. That's our first match, isn't it? There's a lot of matches today. It's like 6 or 8. I was counting it earlier. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 matches, but it looks like some of them are being played at the same time, which I think is unlikely. So we have one more match than the days before, which is cool. Why is this filmed with a phone camera, by the way? Kind of wild, no? It's like the ratio is off. Intense. Absolutely intense. Okay, I'm gonna open up my chat on the phone. We could talk about other things that are intense. Now's a good time to ask any pressing questions you have about the game. You know, while we're waiting for everything to start up. Okay, my phone is set up. I can read it. That's good. All right, greetings, Young Templar. What's up, everyone? Hi, Harstem. I'm your Chinese fan, so I'm glad to hear that. Good afternoon, Captain. You love to see it. Are you gonna win the tournament? I'm not here for, buddy. What time is it for you? It's 12:03. I said yesterday I was gonna be in time. What's up, Jake? Can't make it. He's too busy. Our time is intense. It is broken. That's what it is, buddy. It's broken. Let's just face facts. Thank you very much, Nura Moan, for the Twitch Prime subscription. Also, thank you for the follow, bud. Appreciate it. What do you think is the weakest race? What do you think the biggest weakness of each race is? This question comes from Modern Warfare 2 Ghost Riley. The weakest race? I think Toss is probably the weakest race. No, actually, maybe Zerg is the weakest now. I think this map pool is very Terran favored. I don't think ZVT is necessarily Zerg favored. I think this map pool is Terran favored. So you know, something that's kind of unfortunate that's happening is that whenever patches go live, is that it isn't like the map pool is being balance coordinated with it, you know? So very often what ends up happening is you'll get a patch which nerfs a certain race, but then the map pool will be really good for that race. And everyone kind of looks at it like, wait, they're stronger than before, but the race itself is weaker, but the map pool is very good. I think the current map pool is really quite good for Terran. Like the fact like that hard lead or side delta is being played in every best of 3, like that's an issue, I think. And then there's some individual maps that are just crazy good for Zerg. Equilibrium, specifically. Radhuset as well. But both of those can be vetoed because of a 9 map pool. What's the biggest weakness of each race was the follow-up question, by the way. I'm going to keep an eye on... Oh, wait, the game started. I'm so sorry. Let's just get into it, huh? Here we go, lads. That's a little bit loud. This feels about right volume-wise. Wait, why isn't this showing? Okay, there we go. We've got it, ladies and gentlemen. Someone's ringing my doorbell. I'm gonna have to get that. see. Did we miss anything? Oh, there's a 12 pool. Does feel like we missed something there. Was it a drone pool with it? No. How many workers did Serral lose? Not enough is the answer. So, we missed the exciting part of this game. I'm very sorry for that. Well, you guys didn't miss it. I missed it. Seems like Serral completely out-microed his opponent here, though. Serral right now has a gas that is done. 100 gas in the bank. 5 more workers. And I think he has 2 queens as well. Versus the 1 queen of Solar. So, in every conceivable way, at the moment, Serral is ahead. And usually when Serral is ahead in every conceivable way, he wins the game. Like this opener is so freaking good. Solar looks upset already. Serral's a killer, man. Serral's a killer. Now you think you have a good all-in against him, but you don't. Yeah, faster speed because he has faster gas, of course. Yeah, he's gonna get the faster speed. He's mined way more gas than his opponent. Usually mining gas is a mistake, or is considered a mistake. If you mine a lot of gas, because it means you have less minerals. But here Serral managed to hold so well that it doesn't even matter. I wonder what Solar's plan is going to be. I almost feel like he should just go... I guess you usually go into 2-base roach with this. So I guess that's what he's going to do. But Serral's basically going to have the same thing and just have a 3rd hatchery as well, which is crazy. At Harstem, can you increase the quality of the video you're watching? Dude, if I could, I would. 100%. I can't. It's on the highest quality. It's a live, or it's called a clean feed. It's a clean feed from China. The quality has improved massively over the past few months, and it's much more stable than it was before. But it's still this thing needs to travel quite a distance, and then I'm restreaming it, so quality degrades a little bit over restreams. I'm sorry, it is what it is. It's either this or we'll be watching a black screen. You have to watch me full screen. Trust me, that's something I wouldn't wish upon anyone. This game looks real solid here for Serral, as he built a bunch of links. I think he's gonna get a cancel on that 3rd base as well. Solar has a lot of links himself, though. He's going for a carapace upgrade here. Serral with roaches. I'm not sure if they're aggressive or defensive roaches. This is a hold, though, for Solar. Keeps his 3rd base alive. Fast +1 coming out of Serral as well. Solar, he's making something out of this, at least. It's not the end of the world. It's not great, but it's also not awful. Gas count is higher here for Serral, who's, I think, taking his 3rd gas at the moment. While we see Solar still just now taking his 2nd gas. It's an interesting fight. I really do believe that Serral will win it convincingly as well. Your feed is slightly more fuzzy versus others, though. Okay, I'm gonna have another look. Yeah, I have it on 1080p 60. Like, I understand that this quality is not 1080p 60, or at least it doesn't feel like it, but that's what I'm clicking on here. It's the highest quality I can get cheap. Maybe Twitch or YouTube feed. I can switch to the Twitch channel after to see if that's what's happening over here. Sure. Let's have a quick look at this game. I'll do it after this series. I get stressed having to do things while I'm trying to talk about the game as well. +1's about to finish up. It kind of feels like Solar wanted maybe to execute some type of carapace timing. I mean, he's hitting a timing and carapace finishes here with the link, but it shouldn't really do any serious damage. If anything, it's just going to lose a bunch of links for free. Serral has a late late Glio reconstitution as a result, but at the same time, he's just in a really good spot. He has a bunch of cash in the bank as well. He can transition into anything. He could throw down Spire, play like Road Ward with a Spire. I'm gonna go for a carapace upgrade here. I think this is a misread. Yeah, this is a misread out of Serral. Serral is reading Mutalisk. Look at that, Hydra then plus Carapace. This is a typical anti-Muta play. And it's the incorrect play here, because Solar is not building Mutas. Overlord speed for both players. Second Evo on the way. Serral went up to 70 drones, 6 gas. I actually think that Serral freaking himself out over the Mutas is gonna get Solar back in the game here. Look, he's getting Hydra range. He really believes it's Muta. He's bought into it. Now he sees all of these roaches. I wonder if he's gonna change up his response. He's getting his +2 attack right now. He's still gonna have a +2 timing because Solar's +1 finish so freaking late. Tunneling Claw starts as well. But he's not gonna be building Hydras anytime soon. I can't imagine. Here comes the Overseer. He's gonna be a little bit frustrated by the fact that there is no Spire. Like, I was kind of prepared for that. I was ready for your Muta switch, but it never came. I'm just keeping an eye on Serral's scam. Doesn't seem too upset. But it does feel like Solar managed to make up accidentally for his crappy early game. His very crappy early game. Drone count growing a little bit for Serral. And like by no means is it necessarily like, oh, Serral's losing. Like, Serral's still ahead. Faster +2 upgrade is huge. Serral is always ahead when the game is stable, by the way. This is something that I'd like to point out. Is that Serral doesn't lose late games. He just doesn't lose them. We saw that in Raynor versus Serral on Hecate last week. If you haven't seen that game was a freaking masterclass in how Serral wins. Here comes the +1 timing out of Solar. Solar coming in from 2 angles. Also trying to run in towards the natural. I think those are pure lings though. Yep, there he goes. Gonna take out a queen. Try to go for a couple of these workers as well. Good distraction maneuver. I thought we saw a roach drop. I'm not quite sure where it's hitting. I'm not seeing it happen currently. Okay, there we go. Burrowing away. These trades are somewhat even. I think Serral's going to be happy with this as he has a superior concave as well. He's going to hit a couple of these biles. He's playing a solid game here. Now +2 is about to finish up, and that is a scary moment for Solar because he's going to be fighting with an upgrade deficit. Oh, roaches in the main of Solar. At the same time. That's what the picture-in-picture shows. Let me pull this thing up. There you go. Sorry, I was a little bit slow on that. You guys couldn't see it. I forgot about that. Yeah, we're good now. We're good now. Ooh, I don't think these roaches got spotted. And that's a game-ending run-by right there. That's a game-ending run-by. However, it does mean that Serral currently has less roaches defensively. This is a good concave that he set up. He's still up an upgrade as well. I think he's realized there's roaches in his fourth base. Look at this roach split. 4 going towards the third. These roaches are going to get caught. Solar's roaches, that is. They're going to end up dying. Solar having worse upgrades here is really hurting him. It's really, really hurting him. These bad boys need to unburrow. Third base is secure. Hydra's now on the way. Infestation Pit, I think, is faster for Solar. But his drones are also being taken out at a quicker pace. Serral with a lot of cash in the bank. I really think an Infestation Pit would be a worthwhile investment at this point for him if he doesn't have it yet. It is possible I missed it. No, I didn't. There we go. Infestation Pit starts. Roach is still moving in towards the main base. Should see the hive start. This gives him a good idea of what the timings are going to be. And actually, with Serral slowly tacking into the hive, it now means that he's given up his upgrade advantage as well. So, Serral has been ahead, still is ahead, but is not keeping advantages that he could have still, you know, been having here. These roaches are going to get taken out. That is a pretty big deal. He has an army on the right side. These roaches are important as they might keep Solar back for a little longer. Them dying, not having that threat on the map could suck. Serral, however, wants to move in position. The killer instinct. The alarm bells are going off. It's kill time. He's moving in forward. Good splits. Good concave setup. Serral wants to trade on the other side of the map because he has a bigger bank, and he probably knows he has a bigger bank. His opponent has a lower drone count and thus has a bigger army. This is a huge surround. If he gets these roaches, that would be real nice. He's taking out a lot of these bad boys. There we go. The earlier Serral trades, the better it is. Because if you trade on your own side of the map, then your opponent can insta start sniping your reinforcements as they pop out. But if you start trading on Solar's side of the map, then these reinforcements will be 80-85% done by the time his opponent hits. Solar is losing a lot of units though. Has started +3 attack, but is only on 53 drones and does not have a bank remaining. Is struggling with maxing out at this point. Second Roach Warren on the way. I'm not sure why that was. Probably should have been a lurker then, I guess? I don't know. Something went wrong there, that's for sure. Bunch of roaches burrowed here as well as Solar's being pushed back. And I think the only serious option that Solar has at this point is going back home, maxing out, and then trying again. Trying to push his opponent back, fight on Serral's side of the map and go for a W. But Serral is so good at holding positions and holding ramps. This is going to be an okay fight as well for Serral. Any even trade at this point is good because he's outmining his opponent by 300-400 minerals a minute. Like, Serral's bank keeps growing and Solar's keeps shrinking as he's incapable of maxing out. 3-3 started for Serral. Lurker then here for Serral. Roaches taking out more drones. That does mean that Solar's army is increasing in size. There we go. A couple of big biles. Almost connect. Not quite though. Not quite. Ravager's being morphed. I'm not sure if that's aggressively or defensively. It feels like it's aggressive. It's gonna, I mean, he needs to kill. +3 not gonna be done for either player in the upcoming fight. And yeah, Solar tries to burst up this ramp. He's just, oh my god, he's just eating bile after bile. And I think he knows he's dead. Serral knows he's dead. We know he's dead. We all have the information. Solar's still trying though. Ravager count is so high that almost the entire time Serral just needs to be pulling back as to not get hit, but at the same time Ravagers they just feel so vulnerable, and once you get a good flank in, yep, just like that, the game ends. Serral wins game number 1. Very comfortable game. Not a second in this game where he was in trouble. I think he was a bit sloppy with his lead. His upgrade lead got given away. He played overly safe against Mutas with that fast Hydra then, giving up on a potential +2 timing. And then, like I said, late Hive giving up on his upgrade lead as well, but just solid all around. Insane multitasking, and with the knowledge in the back of his head that if he survives still lurkers, he just doesn't lose games. Like, this has to be the most comfortable thing in the entire world, is at the moment you hit the 15 or 16 minute mark, you're just straight up going to win the game. Like, that's pretty crazy to me. Solid performance from Solar though. Yeah, sure. Very solid performance out of Solar. I rate that performance. Maru might be the third best in TPP behind Clem and Cure. Really? The thing is with Maru, he's a little bit inconsistent, but would I rate Maru lower than Cure? I don't think so. I think I rate Maru higher than Cure every day of the week. There was a period where I'm not sure if that was the truth, but now I think, yeah. Like, Maru is sick. Like, Maru is very good. Plays a bit aggressive, perhaps. Sometimes falls behind in early games because of that. Hey, what's up, Dakila? Hello, Drip King. What's up, buddy? You said Cure's the best TVP not long ago, though. Things changed quickly in StarCraft 2. I think 2 months ago, 2.5 months ago, I think Cure was the best. There was a period, but it was a short period. Maybe 3 months ago already, or 4 months ago. Like, there was a short period where Cure had insane TVP. It actually felt like Clem copied Cure's TVP a little bit, and then Cure lost the sauce, you know? Sometimes all of a sudden a player just loses it. It's like having a secret family recipe that you didn't write down, but it's just in your head, you know? And then sometimes you lose once with it and you've lost the... Boom, it's gone. The fingers, they don't do it anymore. That's kind of what it felt like with Cure. It's like one day he was sick, and then the next day he was very good, but it didn't feel as dominant anymore. And I think Maru's base level was simply higher than Cure. At Harstem, do you think Serral has been looking worse recently? In the WTL, Serral looked super sloppy compared to his usual performance. WTL specifically is a very, very difficult format to perform well in. Like, I know he performed very well in the past, but this is crazy. The way that Clem did as well is insane because you have loser pick maps. So, and I think I can't even recall who Serral lost to, but we also shouldn't forget that the current map pool is pretty good for Terran. But yeah, Clem just looks much stronger than before. So when Serral loses to Clem, it's like, well... Serral looks very strong to me, to be honest. I also think late game CVT is not as good for Zerg as it once was. A lot of Zerg struggle in the late game against Terran. Against the top Terrans, that is. Them being Clem and Maru. Serral's best because he was the first to show that European players can be better than Korean players. Like the first guy to run a mile under 6 minutes. I think you're giving a bit too much credit to Serral here. We had Stefano be very dominant against Koreans for a period of time as well in 2012 now. And people will think back of this like, oh, it's Infestor Broodlord. Stefano got a lot of his success playing Roaches. He was styling on people with Roach Hydra Corruptor when that was an absolutely non-viable composition. Like, Stefano was insane. He never had the same consistency as Serral, but he won a lot of tournaments. He was capable of taking out Koreans. Euthermal was also very, very good, but people barely ever talk about it. I mean... Euthermal was not the same level as Serral or as Stefano was. Like, that's not even close. You could say that Naniwa at some point was very good against Koreans, but also not with the consistency. He didn't win enough tournaments for that against Koreans. I'm not even sure. Did Naniwa win tournaments against Koreans? I think he won the New York tournament, no? An IEM or something? I think Naniwa won 2 IEMs total, if I'm not mistaken. You turn also fun to watch these days, though? Yeah, well, that's true. That's not really what we're discussing. Like, someone said that he was very consistent against Koreans, or that he was performing as well. He was really, really good against Koreans. Which he was good against Koreans, but not the same level. It's like saying that Norm MacDonald ran a faster 100 meters than Bolt. And then some guy goes, well, that's not true. And then your rebuttal is, well, but he's pretty funny. It's like, well, yeah, I guess. It's just a different thing, though. Never said he wasn't funny. You said that he couldn't run the 100 meters as fast as Bolt. Okay, what the hell's going on in this game? Serral has roaches, he has links, he has less drones. He was slightly supply blocked. He's building 5 overlords. To me, this feels like he's all-inning. And Solar is still building units. I think that Serral doesn't look too hot in this game. He's adding 8 drones. Probably wants to go for a fake move out at some point. Could you give a bit of info, please? Which day of the tournament this is and who has been eliminated so far? No one has been eliminated, buddy. No one. Ooh, this time we do get a real Spire. Last time Serral believed there was a Spire. Last game he was fighting Ghost. This time he's fighting non-fictional things. Lots of drones. Need to get a scout in at some point. Roach count is very high on the side of Solar, which is pretty scary if you're Serral here. Because you're looking at that Roach count and you're thinking to, oh my god, Solar's gonna play melee. Ooh. Wow. This is a wild little transition. So, I'm not sure if this is a Korean versus European thing. I don't think it actually is. I think this might just be a Solar thing. But whenever I see Europeans open up with heavy roach counts and they get a Spire, they'll still continue range upgrades. And they'll play Spire kind of as a way to force map control to them. So what they say is like, hey, I'm gotta get a couple of Mutas. I'll kill all of your Overlords, force them away. You can't use any Overlord drops anymore because I'll catch them. I have full vision on the map and I'm in control of the pacing of this game. That is basically what you're saying, or that's what a lot of the Europeans do. If you're playing melee, what you're going to be doing is you're going to be investing your minerals in links and all of your gas in Mutalisk. And then eventually, with +2 melee, or well, with +1 melee, you're going to do big baneling attacks to try and kill Hydras, drones, and hatcheries. So the goal is very different. This, in a way, is more all-in, as you need to deal damage with your Muta and with your Ling Bane. Like, this is very committed. The funny thing is that his roach count is still very high as well. So it is completely possible that Serral sees this and he sees the roach count. And right now Serral is thinking to himself, well, he's going to be preparing for roaches, I think. Which means he's going to have a lower Hydra count. We'll see how long he can be fooled over here. That is the real question. How long can Serral be fooled by this being a roach Muta play? Because this is some serious trickery. Muta's taking out the first Hydra. Muta's gonna go for a Queen over here. Second Hydra goes down. Third Hydra. Fourth Hydra is well falling. 5 Hydras go down. Serral with a terrible defense so far. Did not think it was going to be 9 Mutas. He believed it was going to be 4 or 5 Mutas. He underestimated this absolutely, and the trick has already worked. Now these roaches are being pushed back, and these Mutas are going to push back Serral's roaches in return. Rich Vespine Geyser is there for Solar. Serral has been caught off guard. Ay. Solar here with some solid tricks. Absolutely confusing the ever-living crap out of his opponent. Already going up to 10 gases at this point. So the Muta count will continue to rise. The Baneling count will be relatively high the moment a Baneling Nest plus Centrifugal Hooks will be researched. Solar's gonna go for a bust here with roaches, which seems optimistic. We'll get 2 snipes there though on Hydras. It's a couple of roaches sneaking towards the main. Once again, Hydras being sniped. Serral just getting caught out of position with these Hydras time after time again, which is incorrect. GG. Yeah, this was a surprise for Serral. Serral did not understand what was happening. He completely misread the situation. It's because this isn't a thing. This isn't supposed to work like this. If it gets properly scouted, if Serral realizes there's a high Muta count, he can play very slow StarCraft with a really slow forward base. Like, he's upset. He's freaking... He's like shaking his head, man, this guy's an idiot. That's what he's thinking, right? You see these eyes? What the hell was that, Serral? You see that? Look at this. You see... We're gonna check that out in the 0.25. Look at his eyes go. He cannot believe he lost to this clown. Look at that! Oh my god, this guy is a moron. What is he playing? Oh, I wanna kill myself. He cannot believe it. This was insane. This is such a sick play out of Solar. Okay, I set it up properly. Boom. Serral's getting a little bit of a... Do you call that a ring beard in English? Like one of them... these things around. Like, he's still talking to himself. He's super upset about that loss. He's clicking the pen. He's writing it in his notepad. Solar is a clown. Next time he plays a series against him, he reads it and he remembers, like, right. Yeah, he's proper... Is that a goatee? It's a goatee. Goatee. Yeah. Yeah, he's getting one of those. My English teacher had a goatee. I recall. It was the first time I ever saw a goatee in real life. Goatee? Not a goatee. 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 Yeah. Goatee. A little goatee. A little goatee. Gotcha. Thanks. Can anyone liberate what's Serral muttering? I'll ask some of my Finnish friends. I'll give you the answer after this game, okay? Don't worry about it. But you guys can, of course, also try figure out what he wrote or what he was saying. Serral the Alpha Zerg. Meanwhile, no hair on Solar's beta male face. Why do you type these things? Very based comment. Very nice. All right. Was that YouTube chat? What do you think? Of course that was YouTube chat. When something unhinged comes out, it's always out of the YouTube chat. Yeah, Twitch chat, mediocre trolling. YouTube chat, unhinged. Very unhinged. All right. Let's take a look at what's happening over here. Couple of cannons. Queens. Also starts with a Q. Couple of queens being produced. Just a standard opener. It's going to be a good old regular 3-hatch out of both players here. As both are getting speed. We'll be going into a baneling nest as well. Yeah, there you go. I mean, this is the thing about ZVZ. When both of them look at these timings. Actually, Serral's a little bit quicker. He might be doing the mining trick. I've actually seen no one defend worker harassment as poorly as Solar. So maybe Solar also just doesn't stack workers. And that's why he's down 20 minerals and 4 gas. It's kind of wild. Because this is being played on his server. There's a couple of tricks that speed up the mining, by the way. I can show you guys later. They're very inefficient tricks, but people use them anyway. Because, you know, if you can get an edge, you're gonna get an edge. It's the max packs mineral stacking that the AIs do as well. Humans started doing it to get 5 more minerals after doing it correctly 20 times in a row. If you mess up once, you're down 5, so it's pretty scary. All right, what do we have here? Road Warren going down. Did they cancel Baneling Nest? No way, right? Second gas on the way for Solar. That's in the natural. I wonder if that got scouted. I didn't see it. Okay, now they have the Baneling Nest finished. I think Scarlet discovered that trick years ago. I thought the AI people discovered it. No one was using it, though, for the humans. I guess Scarlet is one of the AI people. I think the 4-gate bot that Scarlet created was the best for a little while. Because it had the tightest 4-gate. Actually, yeah, Scarlet probably did invent it then. Thank you, Sir Blondie. Look at his lair timing. Both players with a lair pre-upgrade. This is really quite rare. So this can mean 2 things. 1, it could mean Mura. 2, it could mean one of these weird roach attacks maybe. But I think you go faster than with a lair. And then you poop Overlord stuff. And both of them building drones. So it should be Spire versus Spire here, actually. I think that's what's gonna happen. But Serral isn't taking the 6 gases yet, so he's gonna have less gas. Okay, now he's taking it. Wow, he's just getting Glio and +1 at the same time. Okay, so Solar goes for the Spire. Serral doesn't. I really believe that if you went Spire, or sorry, if you went Lair before +1, that it 90% of the time indicated Spire. I guess this is the 10%. People forget that about statistics. Is that if something is, you know, it's going to happen 90% of the time. I'll say something like, I think there's a 60% chance that Serral wins here, you know? And then Serral will lose. People come up to you like, oh, you were wrong. It's like, well, not really. I was right 4 out of 10 times, you know? Like, just this time I wasn't. This was the one loss. They play this match 10 times. He's gonna win 6 times, trust me. That's the beauty is all about statistics. You can always say that it was the exception that happened there, you know? Like, I didn't make a bad prediction. Just a freak event. So this time we have clean information for both players, okay? Solar playing his Mura crap. Serral aware of that. And this is going to be the Mura that I described in the last game. This was really popular. A year ago, I think. This was all the rage. And it has been popular since, I'm pretty sure. It's when you get, like, legit 4, 5, 6 Muras. That's it. You clear Overlords, you get map control, you force Hydras, and then you just play Roaches. That's what you do. And you can go for a +2 timing. You're trying to deny scouting as much as possible, but you can also try to tech into lurkers really freaking fast. You know, there's a couple of paths that you can walk, and your opponent needs to figure out what freaking path you're walking, and that can be tricky. Solar has a lot of supply, by the way, here. It's because Serral is getting spores, he's getting double upgrades. Solar's going for a +1 all-in. Once again, Solar here with a bit of a trick, denying scouting. Serral has absolutely no clue what's happening. These links need to scout it, but you good split off there. Sees the Ravagers. That is very, very suspicious here. If you see these, yeah, Serral instantly starts his own Ravagers because he sees Ravagers on the other side. But these Ravagers won't morph quite in time. As Serral here getting caught off guard. Hydra's not in the army. Is forced to cancel. He's in a bad spot here. He's in a bad spot. Beautiful little all-in here. Coming out of Solar. No upgrades behind this. 14 Roaches on the way. This game ain't over yet. There's one Ravager here for Serral. The Mura's not helping in the fight. So that is pretty much dead supply. We shouldn't forget about that. The Mura's here were a trick. Solar doesn't believe that he can win this fight as he starts his own +2 behind this. Vials not quite gonna connect. 155 supply to 160. Don't forget, Mura's not in the fight as Solar is not gonna be capable of getting the kill here. Serral survives with a faster +2. Carapace on the way. Superior tech. This position, real nice here for Serral. Solar's going to send it again as he's morphing in 2 more Ravagers. He's getting extra gases. He's building more Roaches as well. This isn't over yet, Serral. This push continues. Once +2 finishes up, which is gonna finish soon. Carapace just finished now. You can see behind my face. Once +2 finishes here for Serral, he's safe. He's good. He can't die anymore. Unless he really messes up positioning somehow. But that is un-Serral-like. Solar still pressing down that Roach button. This is getting spotted there by that high ground Ravager. That is a very, very big deal. Overseer flying around trying to get some info. Doesn't quite want to die. Oh, where's the rest of the army here, Serral? Is this it? Oh, Vials there connecting with 5-6 Roaches at once. +2 range, not quite done. This fight doesn't look too hot for Serral. +2 finishing up in a couple of seconds from now. But I'm afraid that this game might be over when the +2 finishes. Serral shakes his head. More Roaches popping though, reinforcing. Hydra's in the back, dishing out a lot of damage. Reinforcements are quicker here for Serral as the +2 has finished. And I think he barely manages to hold on once more. He's up a Carapace upgrade. +2 not done yet for Solar. Supplies insanely close. And I think that Serral is in a superior spot here. How far are we away from the +2? Okay. It's more than 15 seconds still here. More than 15 seconds on the +2. There we go. 12 more seconds. Solar's gonna wait for it. This is going to be another push. It's not super all-in. Worker count is equal. He's just down a Carapace upgrade. And he doesn't have a supply lead anymore. He's also lost all of his Muras, I believe. I don't see them anymore, at least. Which means he lost the map control. Biles not gonna connect there. Oh, Concave superior for Solar here. A little bit. Bunch of Roaches coming in from the side out of Serral, who also has a lower Ravager count. doesn't dodge every single bile there, but it seems like his position now is good. Ravager gets sniped. Very solid control out of Solar. The supplies are close. Solar pulling ahead a little bit. 6-7 supply. It is freaking close. It is freaking close over here. Serral now, for the first time in a long time, up in supply, but a lot of that is in reinforcement. So it is for Solar, though. Queen's helping out in the fight, don't forget. That's not something... Oh my god, look at the burrow micro! I didn't even notice. He managed to burrow 5-6 roaches during this, which he can't really use during the fight because they're low HP. But after the fight, he can definitely use again after they regain a little bit of that HP. Serral pulling ahead in the supply count pretty significantly now. There's like 14 supply that he's up. Concave, superior for Serral. Good splits here. Deals with the double roach run by... Ooh, jumps in forward. Is this allowed? Solar was afraid, but... Was it really that many more roaches? Didn't feel like it. Okay, well... Solar ran away. It felt like he lost more roaches there than he should have. I feel like he almost could just turn around. There's like 12 roaches in the main base chasing 2 roaches. So it felt like Solar should have had more units there. Maybe I'm wrong and there was a lot in production. It's possible. Solar still wants to push up this ramp. The funny thing here is, by the way, is that Solar isn't in an unplayable position, right? Like, if we look at this and we cover the player names, I'd say this game is practically even. The Solar's down 15 supply, but he has like a slightly higher Ravager count. It's like 2 more Ravagers. I think he's also mining more gas than his opponent. So this is definitely playable. But Solar doesn't want to go into a late game. So for Solar, it's now or never. Solar is still in the mindset that he needs to end the game in the next 3 minutes, because once the hive finishes, Serral just doesn't really lose CVZs very much. If ever. I think we discussed it last time. The last time that I recall him losing a ZVZ was in 2018 on Neon Violet versus Sue at Intel Extreme Masters Katowice. That was in 2018. 6 years ago. It's the last time I recall him losing a ZVZ late game. In which he was like a stable late game. Somewhat stable. Tunneling Claws on the way now for our good friend Serral. Was that really a late game though? I think it was a late game. In my mind I had it tagged as a late game. We can watch it. We can watch it back. I'll watch it in the break. We'll watch it in the break together. Okay? And when I say late game, I mean like a stable Lurker Viper. And not if he's down like 8k already. Like that's different. Like it's just... And both players are stable on Lurker Viper. He doesn't seem to lose. Alright. Roach is coming in. Both players trying to go into Hive. I think Solar has now accepted his fate. And is going to go head to head. Toe to toe. Head to head? He's gonna go head to head with his opponent here. Carapace upgrade is gonna be quicker here for Solar. This is good. So I was gonna get a bunch of kills here. 4 or 5 kills. I feel like Solar is heading down a similar path as before. With low worker count, very big army. Serral is so good in these positions. Like, he really understands what needs to be done. Like, this move was a bait. Serral takes a superior concave and starts fighting. Does take a couple of biles, and actually this initial trade wasn't so great. Now we're coming in again. Superior concave once more. Serral semi-lost that fight. Oh, Solar trying to move in position. Is actually going to get up the ramp with a high Ravager count. That could be pretty scary. Serral only with 3 Ravagers here. More roaches now popping in. Couple of roaches from the back. Might be frustrating for Solar to deal with. as Serral believes he can push him forward. The problem with high Ravager count is that once you lose your cannon fodder roaches, is that these Ravagers have no freaking HP. They die, they fall like flies, and they're expensive as crap. This was a great trade here for Serral, who also managed to sneak by another 2 roaches. Has Seismic Spines on the way. +3 has already started. With a 5th base now on the way. Solar already has his 5th base and is mining more gas. But Solar also isn't transitioning into lurkers here, which is an issue. For Solar. Because once the lurkers are out here for Serral, this is over. This is absolutely over. Oh, ooh, a little bit of a bad split up there, Serral. Whoa. Gonna continue fighting? I thought that was a mistake and he just stood there, but no. Serral says that was not a mistake. That was as intended. Wins the game. Wins the series. Very solid play here out of Serral. I'm impressed. I'm impressed by the man. Definitely. Very cool. Okay, these are the matches today. Let's see if we're going to get a 5th match as well, if there's going to be a secondary screen. So on Liquipedia, I think it said we had 5 matches today. But Liquipedia has been a little bit off at times. Or I have not been reading properly. So up next, we're going to get Classic Cure, which is a banger. Beyond Trigger, which actually is a banger as well. And then Maru Dark, which is a certified banger. So we have 2 certified bangers, Serral versus Solar and Maru versus Dark. And then 2 non-certified bangers. They still need to be approved, but you know how it works in the EU, guys. Try to get something certified as a banger, it takes freaking years. Legislation needs to be drafted, no vetoes from individual countries. It is hellish to get anything through. But we got Maru versus Dark and Serral versus Solar. Got those expedited. Yeah, but Beyond Trigger, for now, uncertified bangers. Let's take a look at the at my face while I look for that late game. Sue versus Serral. When are we getting Harstem versus Loco? I'm down. We can make it up. It was 2019, by the way. Was it the global finals? No, that was the wrong one. That was the wrong one. Serral versus Sue. I am Katowice. Was that 2019 as well? Where are you? Was it the last game they played? I'm trying to look for this game. I remember it was Neon Violet, no? I'm not going crazy. I remember. Was it? It was in Nation Wars. Nation Wars, Serral versus Sue. It's 19 degrees in Maryland. Lambo casting today? Not with me, at least. He might be casting, though. Somewhere. I don't know. Yeah, I can't find it. It's too much trouble. If anyone remembers the name of the game, then I will have a look at it. But I can't recall it. I can't find it. I swear it was on Neon Violet. Why are there no Japanese StarCraft II players? There used to be one guy, a Terran. I forgot his name now. Terran SC2 player, Japan. Psyarch. Yeah, Psyarch. I met him a couple of times. Very nice guy. Super friendly. I like most people, though. I always get crap for that. You know, people sometimes they have grudges against other players for no reason. And then they'll be like, this guy did X or Y. You know, I don't like this guy. And I'm like, I like him when I met him. And like, well, you like everyone, so it doesn't count. So I can't help it. You know, just like to be friends with everyone. Do you like even hero? Yeah, me and Gabe get along very well. Yeah. The thing is that with Gabe, you need to not think too much about his stream personality. Because on his stream, he can be a little bit mean sometimes. But on his stream, if you call him out, he'll also realize sometimes he went too far. You know, he can go into rants a little bit, especially if he loses, or if he completely destroys you. You know, I always like tuning into Hero Marine because Hero Marine is one of the players that always gives a lot of advice after you played him. So I'll get destroyed by Gabe, and he'll be watching the replay. It's like, yeah, way too greedy. I'm like, all right, way too greedy. He's like, yeah, my drops always come true. That's not how he sounds. His accent is actually not that bad. But yeah, I was like tuning into him. In real life, he's the sweetest guy. Super nice, hardworking as well. When we were at the Home Story Cup, in the real Home Story Cup, he was making pizzas for like 8 hours straight. It's like a beast, just working. Absolute machine. He's like an ox. And he's super funny in real life as well. Yeah, his on-stream personality can be a bit much sometimes. But he's funny. I think he's funny. If you see it as like a character that he's playing, I think it's really funny. It's a little bit like Artosis. You know, Artosis playing a character on stream. And a lot of people find Artosis' character a bit much. But if you meet him in real life, this guy's brilliant. Artosis is so funny. Are you going to Home Story Cup 25? Yeah. Well, if I'm invited, I'll go. But for sure, yeah. Oh, we got a game. What the hell? I'm sorry. That was a little bit slow there. Oh, they started already without me. What's your favorite type of cheese? Oh, I'm not much of a cheese man. Like I just like a regular cheese. Like just the one you can buy. We used to buy cheese at the market when I grew up. Zuid-Hollandse blah blah blah. I don't know what it is called. Extra belegen. So I always get... I'm not sure what these words are in English at all. Like I don't know how to translate those cheeses. So I think like the general cheese that I eat is a Gouda, or as you guys would know, the Gouda, probably. And then there's like terms to indicate how young or old it is. And I used to be kind of like very close to proper old cheese, but nowadays I like some of them younger cheese, like middle cheese. I like belegen or jong belegen, which is, I think like on the scale, if it's like from 1 to 10, it's like a 4, with 1 being the youngest and 10 being the oldest. Oh, what was this build? Oh, I'm kind of sad I missed the early game here, because this looks freaking cool. I'm sorry, I just want to scroll back real fast. I want to see how he opened. Did he full wall? No, right? Classic didn't scout. So it's Reaper. Oh, this was a 2-gas opener? Okay. 2-gas opener into triple CC? Is that correct? Or is this just a single CC? No, it's triple CC, right? This is a super rare build. I don't know anyone that plays this. If he can deny this Phoenix, it's almost over. Show, observer, show it. He needs to show if we scouted it. I don't think he saw that. Like literally the most important piece of information we're missing right now, because this observer won't show me if the Phoenix saw it. I don't think that was in vision range. I think he moved it back too quick. This is so freaking bad right now for Classic. Like this is insanely bad for Classic. Because I think Classic believes that this is Cyclone into 3 racks. Oh my, the scout denial is mental. This build, I don't think I'd know how to beat this. I don't think I would know. If he gets a second Immortal, like, that's not good. He's getting a Sentry now, so might be capable of scouting with a hallucination. Why isn't this observer showing me if the 3rd base got scouted? Like, we're not building a battery, which is a little bit sus. And he's getting Twilight plus Forge. So maybe he's seen it. But I need to know if he's doing this blindly or if he's... There's no shot he does this without info. If he plays like this without info, he's crazy. He actually has been blasted in the head. Like, how the heck is he so... Like, a stim, combat shield, 3 cyclone timing hits right now. 540. That's when it hits. Legit. Imagine if there was 12 more Marines, stim plus combat. The game would just be over. This is with a 3rd CC and the game is still over. Classic just plays like a clown. What the heck? What? How do you die against a triple CC Marine push-out? I didn't really die. Like, if he did this blind, this is an insane build. If Classic played this blind, this is insane. This is actually insane if he did this blind. I respect Classic a lot for his builds and his decision making usually. But if he did this blind, this is mental. Why isn't my observer showing me what has he seen? I just want to know what he's seen. I want to know what Classic's vision is. There's no way that Phoenix saw the 3rd. Okay, please show me what his vision was. Press the V button. I know you want to. We're never gonna know now. I'm gonna message Cure asking for the replay after he wins this series. This is a very good position for Cure though. Cure is on 5 gate. He's on 5 racks. Has fast upgrades. Like, supplies right now look pretty close. But we have 2 more cycles of units. And supply is gonna be good for Cure. 2nd starport on the way. Well, I said that like it was a normal thing, but that ain't. Like, his eco is gonna go pop, pop, pop. And his infrastructure is already there. The gateway count. So people, they look at Phoenix Colossus supplies and they think to themselves, oh, Phoenix Colossus supply looks really good. But the reason for that is because you're constantly producing out of low numbers of gates. And eventually, if you're on 3 base, you're gonna need to go up to 6 or to 8 gateways. This is a fact. Like, this is not something that we can discuss about. Like, this is just, you'll need to do that in order to spend your money. And the moment that happens, that Protoss starts investing into his infrastructure, it's a really, really good Oh my god, he's playing air toss. That is usually when you see the supply skyrocket for the Terran player. He's playing air toss. Straight air toss. You know, I was talking with Clem at the DreamHack Atlanta. He lost the game to Classic. This is... You want to know how privileged Terran players are? Let me tell you this conversation I had with Clem. Oh, hold that thought. Like, Terran privilege is insane. It's not okay, alright? Terran privilege is something. He comes off the stage having destroyed Classic, right? Just owned him. Like, just walked all over him, but he lost the map. And he comes off stage, and he's like, man, that was way too close. I can't believe I lost the map. Late game Protoss is way too strong. So I'm like, I'm getting excited for the late game Protoss. And then I watch the replay, and the replay is Classic just tacking into carriers and accidentally winning the game. Like, this was the most accidental win I've seen in my entire life. He dared to complain about that. You know, I watch my own replays 15 times, and then if I can't figure out what I did wrong, that's when I start complaining. And thus, that's why I never complain, because I always did a lot wrong. These guys, they don't watch their replay. They created like a massive boogeyman in their head. Still high on adrenaline. They go off. Terran players, I tell you. It's unbelievable. Ooh, this is a good push, by the way. I think if you're Cure, you know what I think the correct call is to make? I think you don't go up to 8 barracks. This is how Bunny used to play against us. He would go into 8 barracks and just base trade or just run into things. I think what you're actually supposed to do is you go into triple starport. You go into triple starport. That's, I think, what you do. And then you just build Vikings forever and you just start trading like mad. There's a pretty high Stalker count though. It's an interesting style that he's playing. Very different from how I usually play carriers. I play carriers the most brain-dead way possible. I mass carriers and Phoenix, and then I sit behind cannons. But Classic here, he went for charge, is now going for blink. And he's really adding something into the mix with those Stalkers. It helps so much to deal with those Vikings. High Colossus count, couple of Immortals in as well, so he continues Robo units, 1 or 2 Disruptors. I really like the way he's executing this. I give this execution 5 stars. This is perfect. Really cool. Actually really cool. I think Cure took some debatable fights so far, but... And here, this is what Clem said as well. He said, if they go into carriers and then Templar, you just lost the game. That's what he told me. He said, I don't know how to own that yet. I think he figured it out during the tournament as well. He has the brain of a machine. He's also a very good boss player. So we can't blame him too much. Gabe beat this with pure marine tank? Really? I think if Terran can control Vikings properly, it's not that good. Really, Max Pack? You wanna hop on a Discord call, watch together, Max? You can give some of your insights on the classic Cure game. I think the people would appreciate it. You can hop on the next game, alright? Because you typing in Twitch chat just seems highly inefficient. Okay? Next game. Okay, I'll call you after this game. I'll also send you the link then. You'll do it for me? I appreciate that, buddy. Alright. Let's have a look at this game for now. Storm being researched, +1 finished. I actually think second armory here is key as well. If you don't have a second armory, what are you even doing? Look at the catch that Cure has. And vehicle plating is probably the most important upgrade if you're fighting carriers. Maybe even more important than ship weapons, I'd say. Vehicle plating. Ooh, that's a nice recall. Mothership there. I feel like he should move his entire army towards the left to kind of capture that. That was a good scan out of Cure. Now Cure's gonna move on the map. So what you do here is you get 5 starports, you get vehicle plating 3/3 +2 on ship weapon, and then you jump right on this. You just go in. That was a good storm. That was another good storm. He forgot to EMP his opponent's High Templar. This was the worst fight possible that Cure could have taken. Like, actually the worst fight possible. And he probably lost the game as a result. That's crazy. Okay, he forgot to move out of the storms. And he forgot to use EMP. You also need a preemptive scan to see where your opponent's army is. Like, with Zerg, you can say, hey, it's really difficult. You don't have EMP. What was I gonna say? You don't have EMP. And you don't have scan, so it's hard to see invis units. But for this, not so much. Okay, I'm gonna quickly throw Max Packs on air. Let's see where this guy is. Thank you, by the way, Modra Lurker, for the 23-month resub. Very kind of you.
Hello.
Hey, what's up, Max? How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
You're doing good? I'm glad to hear. You ready for tomorrow when you're going to take out Hero with a 2-0 score?
Yeah, I'm ready.
You ready? I'm glad to hear.
Did they change the time for it? Yesterday it said it was gonna be 12 p.m.
I think they might have. They keep changing things around. Liquipedia also isn't always correct. It's because the WTL guys keep switching it up. All right, Max Pax.
Okay.
If you were to play against Cure right now, would you play the same thing again?
The Phoenix, the one Phoenix into Twilight Forge, and then Gytos. You mean that build?
My build?
I mean, you mean that build?
But I think I'm the one that made it.
Did you?
Well, I stole it
you're pretty
from
bad at making-
Firefly, but I improved it. I think I introduced it into the European scene. That's what I'd like to say. I imported it.
Bill, I think it's a bad build.
It's a bad build. You just said that's the build you'd play.
Yeah, if I can't micro, I would play that.
If you can... All right. You can micro because it's high ping, right? This was not a shade at me.
No. I mean, yeah, if you play with 300 ping, I think it's good.
Yeah.
Or if you are a very slow player.
You're right. Yeah.
Like, I used to play with like a lot of Phoenix Colossus into Skytos some years ago, but that was mostly because I was very slow and I hated dealing with drops.
Yeah. Phoenix, live with Phoenix is significantly easier than with Blink.
Yeah.
I like it. All right. It's not what he's doing though, is he? You open up with a Stalker. I think the moment you open up with a Stalker, it's probably best to just leave the game already. I don't think I've ever seen this do anything.
Yeah, I don't understand this. Like, teams should always make a bunker, and
I mean, you don't
Yeah,
even
it
need a
doesn't-
bunker. You just build a Cyclone, no? If it's Reaper, they have a
that helps
bunker.
too.
And if it's Marine into Factory, they just stand upstairs. Your Stalker is never in time.
Yeah, that's probably true. I haven't tried it much. I just think Stalkers is so expensive, and if you make like 1 or 2 Stalkers, you can only play Twilight. But even if you play Twilight, it's a slower Twilight than usual.
Yeah, way slower. And he's playing Stargate. This is awful all around. He did kill a Marine though. So not the end of the
Yeah,
world.
that makes it worth it.
Yeah, I like it. Now I think it was a good call. If I could go back in time, I would have praised it. He's gonna play Stargate into Robo again.
I don't understand this. There's gonna be no Phoenixes. Like, the Phoenix is gonna be so late.
But it's a good trick now. Like,
I mean, what does it trick? Like, he can go Widowmine drop, and
no, he can't. He's gonna have one Phoenix ready for the Widowmine drop. He's gonna kill the Medevac if he pulls the workers away. He's gonna lose 2 workers and then kill Medevac and 2 mines. Surely that's worth it.
oh,
Is that the dog? The Royal Canine.
yeah, sorry, that was the dog.
That's okay. I'm fine with it. Ooh, Phoenix.
He
being
doesn't like
blasted.
me talking to you.
Sorry?
Sorry, that.
You
never
made a
mind.
joke?
Yeah.
I missed the joke, I'm sorry. I know there was something mean though. I'm glad I missed it.
Okay.
my poor old heart, Max. You can't do this to me. Oh no. Interference matrix. I actually think. Let's do this theory. I think that if you survive with a Raven that has interference matrix against Phoenix Colossus, and the Terran doesn't fly the Raven into Phoenixes like they usually do because they only can use a single control group, I actually think that the Terran just wins the game by default. I don't think you can hold. You have no units. They just run in and they kill you, no?
Yeah, that's true. But you should only get the Raven if the Terran mess up. Or you need to sacrifice like 2 Phoenix at least.
Yeah.
If the Terran doesn't mess up, then it's very hard to defend the push. I think you can defend it if you make like 3 or 4 sentries, so that if they matrix, you can force field.
Yeah.
But it's still hard, and it's also map depending.
Yeah, you remember on Oxide, they would always play it? And then it'd come from in between the natural and the third, and you need like 6 sentries to force field it. It was impossible, because you can't afford 6 sentry. That's ridiculous.
No, I don't remember that.
You remember the map Oxide though, no?
Yeah, I do.
Maybe I'm misremembering what Oxide is. Maybe it was Grassvan, not Oxide. Sorry, it was Grassvan. It was Grassvan. Oh, Grassvan they did it. Anyway, this looks like a fight. Look at that. Minus Phoenix. Raven stay alive. Observer's gonna die. You know, if I were Cure, what I would do? I would go back home, repair my Ravens. Repair the tank, and then go again.
Yeah, I think that's smart. Like, he doesn't even have that big of an army to do anything.
It seems like a wild push anyway to do without stim in combat, but I appreciate it nonetheless. See you later, Modra. Alright. 2 more barracks on the way. +1 about to finish. What do you think he should do with the... Well, he only has 2 Phoenixes. There's not much he can do.
I mean, I don't understand why he makes so few Phoenixes. But he does that all his games.
Well, this game he also lost 3 of them for free, it felt like. You know, he lost... I think...
Oh! Yeah, but he also cuts Phoenixes a lot to make gateways and thick and fast immortals. Like, normally I would place just keep producing Phoenixes up until like 5, or sometimes I stop at 8.
Yeah.
Which I think is better because you can harass a lot.
Yeah, but he lost like 4 Phoenixes. So technically, he probably built 8 at this point already. Or it's like 7. He lost so many.
Yeah, he did.
I lost another Observer as well.
But that doesn't change that he's playing at 1, I think.
Okay, that's true. What do you think of the Immortals? You like it or no?
The one immortal he's making? Yeah. Oh, I mean...
Inconsequent.
It's just I don't think it does much. Like, it's good if they survive.
This doesn't really look like surviving to me, though. Or if this is surviving, then a very weird definition of surviving. Loses his robo, he's gonna lose all of his probes. Classic looks worried as well on the camera. That's how I usually judge the games most of the time.
I can't notice any difference.
Yeah, because you have a picture of Artanis there, so you always look the same. When you play, do you also wear the big suit of the Protoss or no?
No, of course not.
You never know. Oh, this is almost a hold. He lost 25 workers. Yeah, so this is, in my mind, what is supposed to happen every single time when they open up with double Raven against Phoenix Colossus.
Yeah, I mean, Beyond used to do it in the last map pool a lot against me. He would just matrix my 2 Colossus and then stim into the natural base.
Yeah, I think that's a very good plan. They have to go in between bases, because if they go just to one base, you can force field them off, you know? And if they go in between properly, I guess you have to kind of preemptively force field the ramp. And Classic was out of position a little bit there. It's so freaking hard, though. You know what I wouldn't mind, though? Seeing a prism here. Or just having some zealots on the map. Like, he needs to do something. Just sitting back and taking Widowmine hits in the face is not gonna cut it.
Will, I don't think he can do anything. I would honestly just leave.
No, you wouldn't. I've seen you stay in, just running zealots into bases. For very long.
Yeah, that's just because I'm denying the loss. Even though I know it's coming.
You know what we call that? We call that coping. Seriously. You know copium?
I mean, I've heard it before, but I never actually Googled the meaning of these words.
It's like a gas you can inhale. It's called copium. If you don't believe something has happened yet, you can take a lot of that. It's like a drug. They can also give it at the hospital.
Okay.
They gave it to Hillary Clinton supporters in 2016. I think this is gonna be the end of the game.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, the early game was too bad. I think the restalkers.
But the Stalkers did something, no? I feel like this build is just not viable.
I mean, they killed Marine and then
Maybe we overhyped the damage a little bit. Well, you said this was worth it after he killed 2 Marines.
yeah, but that was a bit of a joke.
Yeah, that's a good one. Bagging series so far. I love that Classic is staying in though. Lost his main base, down to 43 workers, 12 minutes into the game. Restarting his +2 and Blink. He's looking at that and thinking, I think I still have a chance.
Yeah, it's pretty funny that he stays in the game.
You also do that, but I feel like you do this more when you play against worse players. I think you leave quicker against good players now.
I haven't noticed that.
I think
It's probably true.
Yeah.
I do think I stay a bit longer than some players.
I think that's fine. I don't think you do. You know who stays in very long? Actually, I want you to tell me who you think stays in very long on the European ladder. It's a Protoss player.
And yeah, that's probably Gerald.
Yes, it's Gerald. And you know who the Zerg was that stayed in a long time?
Yep, lie.
Yeah, there we go.
I mean, I also think Raynor stays a lot.
Raynor's pushing it sometimes as well. But Raynor stays in against Protoss because he doesn't respect us. I think that's the reason. I think Raynor leaves in time in ZBZ and ZBZ. It's just the Protoss player he doesn't respect. He thinks he can come back. This was honestly not a bad fight. Like, if Classic had 40 more supply and actual upgrades, he would be winning.
Yeah, and if you had 40 extra workers.
Yeah. But no, if he had 40 more supply and good upgrades, I think even with 45 workers, he could... Nah, okay, yeah, he probably need at least 25 workers or so. Yeah. For sure.
When is this game gonna end?
I don't know. You got places to be?
No. It's just it's getting a bit too much.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, it's been fun, Classic, but now it's time to go. This is also the third time a Mind Drop flies in here. Imagine that this Templar drop kills 30 workers. You think he has a chance?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, it's also not a Templar, it's a Zealot. If that Zealot would have killed 30 workers, though, I think he would have had a chance. Because probably
that Zealot is
Cure had some type of cardiac arrest or is a stroke. Sometimes it happens, though. You know, one Zealot, and they don't notice it's going on. You kill, like, the entire base with it. I think it happens
Yeah.
more frequently with a Link though, because it's smaller, so you don't see it. I've seen this happen before. It also has happened to me.
Yeah, I mean it usually happens against Hero Marine. But,
Hero Marine
not
is so
against-
good at looking at the minimap.
I mean, there's always one settler in the natural or third that is killing like 10 workers at least.
Poor Gabe. It's gonna be heartbroken to hear that. Big boost into the main. I like that Cure is not wasting any time though, you know? He really wants to end it. He's boosting stuff back and forth.
He's not doing the best job at ending the game.
No, but he's trying. You know, sometimes because you want to end the game so badly, it actually takes longer. Sometimes when I have like, I can only play for like 10 more minutes. I go for like a 4-gate or something in PvP. And then the other guy, you contain him on one base and it goes to like a 25-minute game or something, you know? Well, if you just would have played a standard game, if they're like 5-8, you would have won way faster. Well, you win way faster in general, but for me, you know, I did.
Yeah, that is true. It usually happens too when I play the ESL Open Cup.
You
When
try
I
to
try
cheese
to,
like the lower level players.
Yeah, when I try to do some one base all in, it usually takes like 8 minutes. We have just done a 4-gate blink. It would have taken 5 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, I know this all too well. This is a classic ailment of the pro gamers. At this point, I think it's disrespectful. He's disrespecting our time. Imagine what people could have been doing while we are watching this game just bleed to death. The combined man hours that we've lost watching this. We could have created a rocket. We could have gone to the moon twice. All the people watching this with their high intelligence. That's pretty crazy, no?
I mean, well, it was mostly just because it was boring to watch the last 8 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, that didn't help either.
And now I've got like it was a bad game. If it ended in 9 minutes, I would have said it was a fun game, but now it's just
Yeah.
not a good game.
Yeah, I agree. Can we rate it? 0 to 5 stars? 2 or 1? Nah, I think this was 2 stars.
I mean, if this is 2, what is 1? What games are 1 star?
Every single TVT and every single ZVZ. Almost every single ZVZ. But every TVT. Have you seen these Cyclones fight each other? This is some garbage. TVT already was the worst matchup. And it got even worse, which was difficult to imagine. You know, sometimes you can't quite imagine something until it actually happens. That was the case with TVT. People looked at TVT and they thought to themselves, it is impossible that we can make a change that makes this matchup worse. So every change, everything is going to be positive, you know? But then a change happened and the matchup got worse, which is just a wild concept. Because the matchup already sucked so hard. Agree?
I mean, I'm not sure. I personally don't like playing TVT, but
There we go.
I'm not sure how you're going to fix that.
Yeah, me neither. The Cyclone definitely wasn't a fix, though. Right?
No, I mean the Cyclone made all matchups worse.
Even TVP? I think TVP is better.
I don't like it in TVP.
I like it in TVP.
It's so
Because you don't.
dangerous.
Okay, the only time it's an issue is when you get eBay blocked, and you never scout for eBay blocks. So you always get eBay blocked, and you're forced to take your third base, and then it sucks.
I mean, why would you scout for the?
Because you
eBay
can do
block?
this. Look at this. Look how sick the position is that Classic is gonna be in after this.
Yeah, but imagine if he didn't eBay block, he would just lose.
5 minerals. He would lose 5 minerals. That's it.
No,
7
he
and a
would
half
lose,
maybe. Like it's really nothing. It is so worth it.
Yeah,
And also, you only need to do it 60% of the time for Terrans to go, not gonna eBay block anymore. And eBay block is the best opener. You know it, I know it. Like, surely the solution is not pretending it doesn't exist and taking a third every single game.
Well, are you sure that you are hit, even if you scout it? Because you're gonna pull a couple of 4 or 5 workers, and it's gonna cost.
No.
I think it's even if you scout.
No, I don't think it's even at all. That's not true. Then why wouldn't they play it every single game? If they're always ahead, they would play it every game. No one plays it against me because they know I always scout. So the Terrans at least must believe that they're behind when they get scouted every single time. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. Or you think all Terran players are extremely stupid, which might be a belief that I share. But even then, the trick works against them.
I think the Tyrants like to be unpredictable, and then they don't like to play eBay block every game, which they should do.
Maybe against you. I'm not so sure about it. But it's okay. We're allowed to disagree. And I mean, people can look at the results and decide who to follow.
And who do you think it's gonna be?
I'm afraid I know the answer. I don't think it's me. Oh, look at this build though. This is interesting. What do you think it is? 3-gate blink, no robo. I personally think this is a very high tier build. Because almost no one builds invisible units. So the robo can be very late, or you can even skip it. I actually believe that playing 2-gate blink without a robo and a fast forge is really, really sick. I think it's one of the best builds.
But a 3-gate without a robo doesn't make too much sense. Because you can't... you can make a fast observer or a hallucinated phoenix to blink into
it
their main
is against
base.
the people that tank all in you, I think. That's what you're going for. The 3rd gate is defensively for the tanks. That's it. This is a bad start.
I think 2-gate should be able to defend that too. If you make 2-gate, like making a mortal and macro probably with the making stalkers in time.
Yeah, I don't know about that, Chief. I feel like it's really hard if they have if they open up with a single mine drop and then they do a tank push. You have 3 stalkers at home. You're not really on the map with your next 2, and they hit freaking hard. I don't think it's so good.
I don't know about that. I do think that most of the times Protoss players lose because they don't execute their builds properly.
Yeah, I agree. We agree on that. Look at Cure not microing his Viking. And then look at Classic not microing his Stalker. I think Classic might have just lost the game, don't you think? This is the worst 4-gate blink build that I've seen in my entire life.
I told you, but you did this.
Well, okay, I thought he was going to 3-gate without a robo, but he just forgot his robo and then realized midway through and added a 4th gate. I don't actually understand how this build order is even possible. He's hitting an entire minute late with less stalkers, which is impressive by itself. But this is legitimately the worst build I've seen in my life. I've been playing since Wings of Liberty. I've seen a lot of bad builds. How many stalkers do you have? 5 minutes? 11?
It depends on what build, if it's 3-gate or 4-gate.
Okay, if we do a 4-gate. He went 4-gate, so you also
I think if you do it properly, you can make 11 stalkers and have 2 adepts at a 5 minutes mark.
Yeah. I agree with this analysis. It seems awful. Holy crap. The double bunker really is the counter to the 4-gate blink though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of.
Ever since that was introduced, it's been falling out of fashion. This is a terrible execution by Classic. The actual micro maybe wasn't even that bad, but the build order execution was really, really poor. He hit legit a minute late with 3 more stalkers than what he should have had at 5 minutes into the game. Which is crazy to me.
Yeah, it was. I still think it was slightly better than the 3-stalker.
You think this build was better than the build last game?
Well, he might have also just messed up because of the drops. Like that sometimes happens with the tier drops. You mess up your build.
You mean
Or the
this
Weeper.
game? You think this game? But he went 3-gate before robotics facility. I think he messed up his build. It must be. There's no way that he practiced his build against the AI and on the ladder. Something must have gone terribly wrong here. This was not good.
Yeah.
You want to stay on for Beyond versus Trigger? I heard that's going to be a sick match. Trigger has a really cool style in late game, you know?
I don't think so.
You don't think he has a cool style in the late game, or you don't want to stay on? Or both?
I'm not sure. Maybe both or maybe just one.
Okay.
Let me just think for a moment.
Yeah, we'll allow it. Let's see what the people want as well. I think peer pressure is always good. All right. Both YouTube chat and Twitch chat. If you want max packs to stay, type a 1.
You can't pressure me to this.
Lumbo King said we want him to stay. We want more max packs. I only see 1s. I see some 11s as well. I see 111. Yes, this is a 1 exclusive zone. Now, this is not peer pressure, but all of these people are going to be extremely disappointed when you do decide to leave. Risky also said he would like you to stay. But just consider it in your own time.
Okay. Well, I've heard that Whiskey's opinion doesn't matter too much.
No, I don't know. Risky's opinion is very important for certain things and not as important others. But when it comes to... No, Risky's opinion is important when it comes to this.
Do you think Trigger has a shot against Beyond?
Do you want me to open the Aligalak and tell you what the data says?
No, I want to hear your opinion. I mean, I can do that myself if I wanted to.
Yeah, but you don't have to. You know, there's many things in life that you can do, but sometimes it's nice if someone else does them for you, you know? For example, cooking. You could technically cook every single day, but it's nice when someone else cooks for you. You don't have to do anything. Out of the last 5 series, Trigger won 2, Beyond won 2, and they had a draw once. That's pretty crazy. Actually, out of the last 7 series, it is 3-3-1. Their trading shows. Oh my god. 2023 was a bad year for Beyond versus Trigger. I think Trigger has a real chance. Yeah. I'd say that Trigger has a 35% chance to win. No, 30. I'll give him 30. So I'm expecting a 2-1 in favor of Beyond here. All right?
Okay. That's pretty good odds.
What do you think?
I mean... Well... I'm expecting Beyond to win.
Okay.
But I guess sometimes Beyond can also be a bit too aggressive for his own good.
Yeah.
And I think that his style doesn't work too well against Triggers. But I still think Beyond is the favorite. Okay, I'll stay on this one game. The first game, and then I'll leave.
Unless the game is really good. Imagine this is the greatest game you've ever seen. Then you might as well stay for the rest of the series, I think. But we'll take it game by game. I think that's best. But I'm glad you made the commitment for the first one. Right. If you were to describe trigger style in TVP in a sentence or two, how would you describe it?
Boring.
Boring?
And yeah, like not the most fun style to play. I mean, you can also say defensive, greedy, whatever you would call it.
He plays only one build order, really, right? The 2-gate blink into 4-gas robo pay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's really good. If it's insane if he doesn't die.
I think it's very good if the Tyrion plays like a standard opening.
Yeah.
But if Tyrion goes for like the build you said, the tank push.
Yeah, of a single
it can
mind
be
drop.
diff.
Yeah. It's so hard. I also think 2-gas openers can be quite good against that. But sometimes I think 2-gas openers are bait. Because you already build a battery against it for free anyway, right? You feel okay building a battery. Well, against... Imagine they open up with a Reaper. I don't want to build a battery in my natural. That feels bad. It's 100 minerals. I could have been putting into probes. So... It feels like, although 2-gas is stronger with the pushes, the Protoss is more, is more actively on his toes. He's ready to strike with some cheeky batteries somewhere. He's playing Stargate.
Well, it doesn't make too much sense to make a battery if you play Blink. Like you would rather have the units, the Stalkers, more units.
I mean, if you're being tank push, you need a battery,
Yeah, but not very early. Like
yeah, so that's what I mean, is that you want a battery against a tank push. So if they tank push you off 2-gas, you're already gonna have the battery anyway. I think you lose the Reaper. Never mind. Cool. I don't think I've ever seen Trigger play Stargate. I think it's a mistake.
I saw it once, but he doesn't usually do it. And I think he's much better with the Blink style.
Yeah. I think so too.
But I guess you gotta practice it. I mean, play it a bit because it's good to mix it in sometimes. Like I feel like there's a lot of these Protosses that only plays Blink.
Yeah, hate those guys.
Yeah, I also hate them when I play them.
You used to be one of them, right?
No, I used to be a Stargate player only.
Okay. But you started as a Stargate player. It's a very manly style, of course, because you have full information. And then you switched into a full Blink player, which is kind of cowardish, I think. Just like always running away, blinking in, blinking out. And then now you're a complete player, you do everything. But still, I think you prefer the Blink above everything else, no?
I think Blink is a bit more forgiving to play sometimes.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Like with Phoenix, it's so easy to get out of position against the drop like one time in the main or something. And
you lose 4 workers, it's over. That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can't really do any pressure on the other side.
Look how crazy defensive Trigger is playing. No Nexus. And now he gets a Nexus. He
I
already
don't think
has
this
an
is
Aura.
defensive. I think this is normal.
My Nexus would
Like
be done already.
Sorry, what did you say?
I said my Nexus would be done already.
Yeah, but you also play like 3 minutes.
Exactly. This is not good. 8 workers went down. I'm not quite sure how. I think there's a Liberator, and Trigger isn't seeing it, and neither is his Observer.
Yeah, he usually does this. Yeah, it's very annoying.
It's over. God, this is a disappointment of a game so far. Loses the third as well.
Yeah.
I think the only thing you can do right now is run across the map and try to win the game.
Yeah, that's the only option. But it shouldn't work.
Yeah, it's not a very good option. That is literally the only option.
He is playing 2 eBays, but maybe it can work. But I don't think so. Cyclones are good defensively.
He doesn't have a bunker though. 2 immortals. There's no tank. A man can dream. Can we dream? I think we can dream. Trigger is very slow though. Why is he not moving?
I guess he's just gonna try to play this defensively, try to survive.
That seems like a terrible call. I can't even survive against the first bush if I kill 5 workers and lose nothing myself.
It almost worked for Classic.
The Oceanborn game, he almost had it.
Yeah.
Couple more minutes. If I were to give you odds max specs, what do you think the chances that Trigger holds the next push? So this one.
I think it's... Okay, it's not really likely. I thought maybe if he had 2 Colossus and a good force field, but...
Thermal lance
yeah.
also would have been nice.
Yeah.
30, 40 more supply. Storm.
Yeah.
Carry or 2. And maybe a time warp. You're looking at a completely different game all of a sudden.
Yeah, the Liberator killed him. Yeah. This is why it's a bit hard to play Phoenix sometimes.
Now, if this game didn't inspire you to stay on for another one, I don't know what will. Because this was some high-level StarCraft. This would be a terrible way to end, wouldn't it?
It would, but I'm gonna leave now.
Yeah, leave.
I'm getting too tired.
Okay, yeah.
Thanks for having me. And,
yeah, my pleasure. Good luck versus Hero tomorrow. We're all cheering for you as a community.
Yeah, thank you, and hope you're gonna entertain your object. And see you.
Oh yeah, I'll try my best. Thanks, buddy. Thanks for coming on. Bye bye. Yeah, what a lovely individual. He's so dry, no? So funny. But you cheer for a hero? Get out of here. We're a max packs only squad right now. We're gonna get Lambo on for the next series, I think. I think Lambo was lurking in my chat as well. I bet he messaged me on Skype. I didn't have my Skype open today, which was a mistake. Let's see who Lambo wants to be in. All right, I think we have it. Lama says he's having lunch, by the way, so that's too bad. It's all this. All right, a little bit of casting. It's always nice to talk with Max, though. I feel like it would be wasted we would be wasting an opportunity, not pick the guy's brain if we have it, you know? I could be screaming through him, you know, useless facts. The games, first of all, were very bad. Second of all, I think for me personally, it's more interesting to get some of his thoughts out there. I think it works better if we're just having a bit of a conversation. So I know some of you really care about the screaming. We'll be doing some screaming later again, okay? No worries about that. The screaming will always be there, but the max specs opportunities where we get to pick his brain a little bit are very rare. Get some nice banter out of him as well. I think he's extremely funny. I think he knows as well when he's funny. With Serral, I thought like he delivers like a comedian, you know? The risky joke was gold. Yeah. I'm sad that the games were so bad, though. I feel like if we would have had some games, we could have discussed some more situations. And it's really nice to have him, I think. Yeah. Such a great guy, man. I hope I get to meet him someday. I owe him a lot of stuff. I forgot about it. I promised him something yesterday as well. I can't even remember what it was. But I owe him a bag of apples, is what he said. And then there was something else that I owed him, that I promised him yesterday, that I would take for him next time I meet him. I can't even recall what it is. Oh, a golden chain. That's what I was gonna give him. I was gonna give him a fake golden chain. Yeah, true. So good. I can't wait for that, man. A builder that would beat Clem. Did you find your chain? I haven't found it yet. No. Starcraft is so funny, man. Alright. Twilight Council opener out of Trigger. I'm really happy to see this because I think Trigger's actually, like, I think his openers is really good, and I think he's good with it as well. Like, he understands what he's doing. I think his plan is so solid, and he's played it so much that even when he's an inferior player to Beyond, which I think he is, like, don't get me wrong, I think Beyond is favored. And especially if you're down 0-1 against Beyond, and your Trigger, you have a 30%, maybe 25% chance on a map, I think is not looking very good for you in the series, right? But I think Trigger has a very good understanding of what to do exactly with his build order because he's played it so freaking much and he's iterated on it so many times. He's solid with it, and I think he's really powerful. Like, I watched him play the other day. I can't even recall who it was against, but I was watching him play and he was making a lot of mistakes. Like, there were mistakes. There was like things that happened that went wrong. And I looked at it and I thought to myself, this actually looks fine here. This is, you know, the situation are good. I think the build is too good, almost. If you don't die, I think the opener is insanely good. I'm not a huge fan of the third gate, because usually he plays with 2 gate, but maybe that's because he's playing against 2 gas. I haven't seen him fight 2 gas a whole lot. There's 1 Stalker in position in the main. We have nothing really on the low ground. Another Stalker gets warped in. Needs to micro that back, right? Yeah, it's gonna lose it though. Good control here out of Beyond with that single Cyclone micro. It's just getting outplayed. Like, this is painful. This is actually just painful. Beyond's gonna reroute it as well. He's gonna go in another time. It's gonna be 3-gate blink. I'm generally not a huge 3-gate blink fan. When it comes to fighting 2 gas openers though, I just don't think it's very good. It doesn't make sense to me either. Okay, well, that thing is gonna die eventually. I think you can probably just leave a single Stalker at home and be fine, but the Raven shows up so freaking fast. Now he's taking a Nexus. He cancelled the Prism, or did he finish it? I didn't quite see that. Oh, that's the worst positioning on an auto turret I've seen in my life. He killed 1 worker. Okay, Prism is here. He's gonna send in 4 in the main. I mean, unless Beyond is messing this up, he shouldn't really take any serious damage. Now, he has nothing on the edges to spot for this 4 Prism. Crazy to move out like this, by the way. I think Beyond is kind of blind countering Trigger. He's blind countering a build that isn't being played right now, which is cool. For Trigger. Also cool for Beyond. He's actually gonna lose a couple of workers, which sucks for him. And it's also gonna lose a Marine here, perhaps. Gonna lose a second Marine. If we get the pickup. Trigger right now in a playable position. Needs to be careful with these Stalkers. Gonna lose one. Is playing Charge behind this, not Robo Colossus. He's switching it up hugely from what he normally plays. But so far it isn't really working out. So Beyond's hitting the other side of the map. These tanks, they seem out of place. Okay, Trigger. Good pickup. Gonna take out both of these tanks and the Marines as well. Beyond believed that this was a 2-gate, I think. I think Beyond really bought the 2-gate vibes. And he scouted the Prism and saw the Stalker count and still thought to himself, this might be 2-gate, which was incorrect. There's a very, very high Stalker count. Trigger actually might have some damage potential right now, which is crazy. 6 minutes and 40 seconds into the game, because there are no tanks. We have a bunker. I wonder if you blink on top of the... Oh, wait, there's one tank. Okay, that's big. That one tank is very big. That helps so much. Without that tank, I think he's in trouble. Can we show maybe the fight in the natural? I guess. Wait, there's no combat shield. He forgot combat. That was a good point out there by the observer. Oh no, Beyond. Okay, now he starts it. It's not a good look. Not a good look at all. Bad early game. Now we get a Robo Bay as well. And usually this Robo Bay would be very late. But now the first Colossus is going to finish the same timing as Combat Shield. Well, not quite, but it's going to be close. Okay, Auto Turret gets thrown down at the third base. Medevacs move in towards the main. We get a big scan. Almost feel like that scan reveals too much. Although Trigger doesn't seem to see it. Doesn't respond. Send a couple of Zealots in there. Same time Stalkers getting pushed back. Drop is now active. The Sim City is built in such a way that it's hard to run into the mineral line. That's nice. But I do believe that Beyond's getting a pretty decent trade here. One Immortal goes down. Can still pick up and fly towards the top side of this base. I think he actually should. Yeah, go in between these minerals there, buddy. That's going to be great. Who's going to pop into the natural? It's not a whole lot defensively there. Third base is still being defended by Stalkers. Marauders try to shoot the Stalker down. Another pickup. As he boosts back in towards the main. No +1 yet. Still no combat shield. Battery alive. No super battery active. Beyond managed to pull ahead in supply once more. Combat shield has finished up. We see +1 finishing in about 7 seconds from now. As the mines will burrow. Raven moving towards the top side of the screen. Probably wanting to throw down an auto turret. Tank in the back helping out an insane amount there. I think Trigger is just dead again. What a couple of uninspiring series here out of the Protoss players. Absolutely uninspiring as the double drop heads back in towards the main. Stalkers blink down, but that's pure Marauders. Not really what you want to blink down into. Do we even have thermal lens? I don't think we do. We can get another pickup. Beyond not really paying attention. Is going to snipe the assimilator here instead. But it's 57 workers to 64. Attempted snipe. An assassination attempt here on the Colossus. But Mr. C survives. The fourth base is on the way. Ravens being F2'd over to Stalkers, which is not great. Yeah, Trigger not playing his best today. I've seen him play some phenomenal PvTs. He played a good PvT on Equilibrium against Clem in the WTL. That was a phenomenal PvT, it really was. Very close to the win there as well. Ended up not getting it, but this game has been... it's been a lot of things. And one of the things it definitely has been is mediocre. That first game was extremely bad, of course, with that Liberator mistake. But even now, it felt like he got in a real nice position, build order-wise. And movement-wise, Beyond, I think, made some errors. But after that, it's been outplay, outplay, outplay. Cannons being thrown down. Trigger is not down and out yet, but he's down 10 workers. That's not a very good look. Actually, all Colossi have thermal lance. Right. The upgrade is called Extended Thermal Lance. You got me. One Colossus, bunch of Stalkers, second Colossus, more Stalkers, anti-armor missile as well, medevac. What you doing, buddy? No cannon in the net. Honestly, supply is relatively close. Upgrade's not so hot though for trigger here, which is going to be an issue, of course. I saw 3 cannons go down, but not in the main, not in the net. This is not necessarily big damage, but it's frustrating to deal with. Having to, you know, send over an observer. Observers suck, observers are slow. Less vision on the map. Beyond's struggling with the supply. I don't quite understand why that is. Why does Beyond have so little supply? Whatever. Don't even care. Trigger up to 66 probes. And now starts his immortal production. This is Trigger, okay? So Trigger style is very simple. He opens up with 3 Colossus, sometimes gets a single immortal, and then starts pumping immortals. Or sorry, sometimes gets a single disruptor, then starts pumping immortals from 2 or 3 robotics facilities. Then he makes the max out push with 9 to 10 immortals and tries to win the game from there. That style is really good as long as Liberators aren't out. The moment Libs hit the field, immortals suck massively. They fall off a freaking cliff. Liberators, especially with advanced ballistics, and even more so with good ship weapon upgrades, the longer that Beyond decides to stay on a Ghost Viking composition, the better it's going to be here for Trigger. Trigger is down in upgrades, and he's going to be down 2 upgrades soon. Once the 3-2 finishes. He's already down 1 upgrade now. There's double upgrades coming out for Beyond, only single upgrade coming out for Trigger. Beyond is maxed out, probably should try and fight. He has 5 barracks producing, there's 3 more on the way. If you're playing Adrax, you probably want to trade a little bit. Viking count is good, 2nd starport on the way, fusion core should go down, as well as 4 more command centers, so going up to 8 base. They're all at once, big stim in forward. This does not look like a very powerful army here out of Beyond. The Viking count isn't high, or sorry, not very powerful out of Trigger. Not sure if the Viking count is high enough to kind of bump into here. I don't think it is. Beyond doesn't manage to kill, and now needs to deal with the reality of Trigger's army slowly but surely, you know, gaining in size, gaining in strength. No fusion core yet, no ship weapons, no nothing. Okay, here comes the fusion core. It's a little bit late though. Big EMP's coming in forward. Has a single medevac with this army. It's gonna get a good trade. This is an insanely good trade over here. So 2 good trades happening at the same time as Trigger kind of falling apart. Not entirely being in position ahead of time. It's gonna lose the 5th base. It's gonna lose the 12 o'clock as well, which I think was his... Was that his 4th or his 3rd? That was his 3rd base, right? He's taking some serious damage there as well. Beyond now with the Adrax has good reinforcements, is trading out very efficiently. And I think as a result it's just straight up gonna win this game. Trigger still is in, but he's not looking too hot right now. Beyond on pure Viking as well against an army that consists of what? 2 Colossus? 2 Colossus. He's gonna need some medevacs, gonna need some Liberators. But I think he has this. And that means that Beyond stays in the tournament. This is an elimination match. If Trigger loses this, he is out. If Beyond loses this, Beyond is out. This is the match of players that went 0-2 so far in the Masters Coliseum 7. Both Trigger and Beyond are such players. Beyond losing to both Rainer and someone else. And Trigger losing to 2 people as well, which I can't remember who lost. Marshall the series can't remember. Yeah, this game is over. Vikings land, Super Battery is active, and these Immortals do pump, pump, pump. But so do these Marauders. And I think that's it, right? Yeah. I feel bad for Trigger. I don't think he won a game this entire tournament, which is wild. Because I think Trigger is better than this. He just didn't play so hot today. He lost a Solar yesterday, Trigger, didn't he? Lost a Solar yesterday, absolutely. Might be a bad time zone. Is it though? I'm just gonna check the brackets we had yesterday. It's really, really early in Canada. He's East Coast, isn't he? He's East Coast though. So it's what? Wait, is it just 8 o'clock? Is that correct? Is that really that early though? I woke up at 7 this morning. I was fresh. Fresh as a duck. Fresh as a duck. When are you going to do a proper video apology, Harstem? To who do you want me to apologize? Gary? If that's even your real name. It probably is your real name, actually. It's one of my favorite things of the YouTube chat is that everyone is posting under their real name. Whenever you guys say something mean, I always Google your LinkedIn. I feel like I have some power over you at that point. I know your employer. So now, equal information. But I didn't post like a moron in someone's YouTube chat. Can a 40-year-old man who played StarCraft a lot as a kid become a grandmaster? Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I think if you have a lot of time left over, then yeah, you can definitely. I think you'll need three hours a day, consistent grinding for like a year and a half. Every single day you're out there, you're owning. You can do it. No social life. Put your career on pause. That's possible. I BM you with my work account. Do you have a LinkedIn? I think I do. I think I have a connection with Loco on LinkedIn. He added me. I remember getting an email. Simon Heine wants to add you on LinkedIn. Or it said, these are people you might know on LinkedIn, and I added him. It's one of the two. But I remember seeing him pop up in one of these emails. It was cool. That's how I established the Loco connection. And then he strong-handed YouTube into giving me a channel. Apologize for the no GG. I apologized to Max Packs already. What else do you want me to apologize for? I saw your Stormgate video. How much are you playing? I haven't been playing a lot of Stormgate, honestly, lately. I played a bunch in the first 2 alphas, but I haven't played so much. It's just been, life's been pretty busy. I have been playing a little bit of Zero Space past week and a half. I also struggle with alphas, I think. Like, I like games when they're complete. I'm not much of an alpha, man. Wait, no, wait. I'm a huge alpha, but I'm not a guy that enjoys playing in the alpha. Misspoke there for a second. Stormgate or Zero Space, it's not competition. That's the beauty of games, isn't it? You can play both. This is not like picking a wife, where usually these are exclusive. Like this is the beauty of games and music. People that have like fights between artists, it's like, oh, if you're a Taylor Swift fan, you can't listen to John Mayer. It's like, watch me do it, baby. Let me put all of their songs in the same playlist. Swifties raging on their TikToks. But I don't have TikTok, so I don't see it. You can't cyberbully me. I just don't open your emails. A real apology video involves a ukulele. If people were saying this, some guy even made an entire ChatGPT apology song with a ukulele. And the song was actually pretty good. I was impressed by it. Harstem apology. Max Packs. How old is he? It was like a week or so. Comment section called out. There we go. Here. Can you guys read this? It's a bit small, no? For mobile users. Sorry for that. Okay. Like the comment section on this video is pretty funny. Tips for next apology video. Play an instrument, sing your apology, perhaps using a ukulele. Blame your editors. They probably deserve it for other reasons. Mention non-specific health problems you've been struggling with that you will never mention again. Point out how the comment section took everything out of context and do not elaborate. Explain how your opponent did not deserve a GG, but you are the bigger man for deciding to give one anyways. Specify how you will try harder in the future and be sure to make no functional changes to how you do anything. This is my favorite comment, especially because his name was Gaslit Games. I don't know, but that kind of drove the entire thing home. And then some guy wrote here's the script from ChatGPT, and it actually rhymed and everything. Well, not everything, but a lot of it rhymed. I'm not going to sing, and it's a long comment, but I recommend reading this one. It was pretty funny. ChatGPT did a good job. 2024 just started. We already have our first huge controversy. I like reading the comments. The comments tend to be pretty funny. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're really bad, but most of the time they're pretty funny. It's good people. It's good people putting in these comments, that's for sure. Can't make it smaller again. Otherwise you can't watch the game. We're still waiting for the game to start, by the way. I'm not just doing this for fun. I've been exposed. I had StarCraft open behind us the entire time. Disgusting. My real intentions have been shown. When will the Harstem running protocol return? My leg is still not good. I'm going to the PT again on Friday. My knee is still messing with me. I went for a 1K run last week, or a week and a half ago. It felt okay. But then during the day, I just got a lot of pain in my knee. It sucks. Thoughts on Blizzard executives saying player base shouldn't expect next StarCraft to be RTS? Made me lol. Honestly, if they release a StarCraft and it's not an RTS, I'll be really upset. I think it's super disrespectful to do that. That's not okay. Unless they invent a new genre, then I'm okay with it. If they hype a StarCraft and then they release it as a non-RTS, I will personally fly over to Anaheim and I'll have a one-on-one talk with all of these executives, whether they want to or not. I'll be protesting outside. It'll be like a growing movement. Or I'll start running from one side of the US to the other side, like how the guy from the chocolates did. What's he called? Forrest Gump. You just keep running until Blizzard turns it into an RTS. Like I would just invent a new IP. If you're gonna disrespect StarCraft players like this, just go do something else, please. Oh, look who that is. That's dark. Maru versus Dark. Yeah, this is the banger game that I've been waiting for all day. There's room for a new StarCraft game to be a different genre. It just feels wrong. You know, just make up a new IP then. If you want to do some new genre, why'd you have to abuse us like that? We've been getting pooped on as a community for the past 5 years already. You're really gonna... They want to make sure that the casket is in there, you know? They'll dig the hole themselves if they have to. They have the funeral planned out. Like, hey, just make up a new IP. It's not like the StarCraft story or the lore is like this huge, brilliant thing. You know, it's good, but it's not like it's Harry Potter, which is very good. You know, Harry Potter is probably the greatest story ever written. That's pretty crazy. Did you guys play Warcraft Rumble? It's a mobile game. I think it's like Clash of Clans meets the Warcraft IP, if I'm not wrong. I heard that wasn't very good. It's so bad. Lord of the Rings is about 1,000 times better than Harry Potter, mate. I'm not sure about that. I also heard that Tolkien stole a lot of his stuff from J.K. Rowling. I just find it funny that J.K. Rowling releases the Harry Potter bangers with magic in it, and then all of a sudden Gandalf appears in Lord of the Rings doing magic as well. He's just kind of hopping on a trend, you know? He's kind of hopping on a trend. I just think it's funny. And then people pretend like Tolkien's some genius. I don't know. That's just my opinion though, you know? What do I know? Blatant Dumbledore ripoff. That's what I've been saying for years now. He was born 1892. So he was born so much earlier than J.K. Rowling. And despite his years of experience, still had to steal from her. The new kid on the block once again pushing the old lads to work harder. This often happens in those industries. What is it they say again about science? Science progresses per generation. You know, when the old dudes die, then new ideas finally, you know, they become palpable. Is that the word? Palatable? Palpable? They can eat those ideas. All right. My dog gets upset talking to you. Yeah. Let's have a look at this game here as Dark gets a Serral, takes out a Cyclone very quickly. Takes out a second Cyclone. This looks like a good start here. Maru struggling. This was a build that was popular when the Cyclone first came out. The low ground wall into double Cyclone, couple of Hellions as well. Third CC on the way. Doesn't get a starport behind it. 40 workers to 44. It's not like there's no threat anymore, but it feels less serious in a way. Like it's just Hellions right now. It's gonna actually get in and get a shot off. Maru played a phenomenal series against Serral yesterday, but Dark is a different type of player. A bit more gimmicky, a bit more chaotic. Oh, okay, this game is freaking over. Maru with the cars. And here I am saying that this isn't as much as a threat anymore. Dark says, hold my beer. Let me build no links. Maru says, alright. I think I can micro these cars with a beer in my hand. 4 barracks on the way behind this, as this is going to suck for Dark. He has been... The one nice thing for Dark is that he didn't build links as a response to this. So, a lot of bad players, what they do is they're losing drones. And then, as a response to losing the drones, they build links against the threat that is already killing the drones. But these links, they come out after the threat has usually been stopped by the queens. So, the best thing to do often is to just continue building drones. And this is actually a difference you see between the very top level players and the lower level top players. Is where, like a second tier player, they might just build the links because they're kind of panicky, you know? The high level players, they kind of sit there and they think, yes, losing 14 drones sucks, but at least they have 13 new ones on the way. Because if Dark had built like freaking 20 links, he'd be absolutely dead. Right now, I mean, we can see it happen. He can cut workers early. He's going to need to do a run by, and it will need to be a very big run by. That was nice control on that link. You see that? Just poked him forward, see what it was, ran back. It wasn't a link sacrifice, it was a link scout. That's the difference between a sacrifice and a scout. He scouted. Now he's gonna move in the run by. And the way that Dark probably wants to do it is send everything across the map. If he wants to run by, he needs to go with everything. He can't just send 1 or 2 units. But maybe he's trying to squash this push. He's gonna go in. I honestly would have preferred the run by here. I think this is bad. You need Banelings with speed in order to trade against Maru. It's gonna catch these Hellions, that is nice. I guess he was afraid of Hellions being there defensively, which is a fair fear, I think. You're allowed to be afraid of that. Dark now is going for that massive run by. 1-1 has finished up as well. Look at this. Maru, how many workers do you have there? There's a bunch of Lings and a tank. GG. Wow. Okay. Well, that's it. Today is going to be the worst day of games. I can feel it. You know, I woke up this morning. I woke up too early this morning. I got brutally woken up. I made some mistakes in the past that had to be fixed this morning. I can disclose this, actually. So the lock on my bike stopped working. And rather than buying a new bike lock, I stole the bike lock of my sister-in-law. And I forgot to tell her. She went to work this morning and realized that she didn't have a bike lock. So she parked her bike unlocked, which you can do in the Netherlands. And then went to work. And then texted Irene's like, hey, I have no lock. I don't know what happened, but I need to go into work, you know? So then I had the bike over. And then I had to lock her bike. But she had her keys with her, so I couldn't lock her bike with her lock. And Irene lost her keys for her lock. So we're lacking 2 locks on 3 bikes. We have 1 lock on 3 bikes. It's a chaotic story. Understand if you don't understand it. So I walked home with her bike and my own bike. It was like at 6:50 or so. And it was cold and it was icy. And also, I didn't want to use my bike because the brakes on my bike don't work so well. And it's icy, so I didn't want to risk it. So I took Irene's bike. Irene's bike is an e-bike. And it's very heavy. So walking home with that bike was a struggle. This morning was hell. This was the worst morning imaginable in the world. I don't think anyone had a worse morning than me today. Just the first part, though. After that, I drank a smoothie. I realized that with smoothies was very important. I realized this a while ago. I think in every smoothie, one of these 2 fruits need to be in. Either you need to have mango or you need to have banana. And then you push the blender like on very high for a long time. It gets a way creamier texture. I've also been getting red pilled on what the hell was this? Oh, he scouted for gold first. Wait. Oh my god, this is a response. Maru is a gangster. Holy crap. I was gonna say I've also been red pilled on putting nuts in my smoothies. I think it's really nice having like some walnuts or some the nuts with the M. You know which one I mean? Macedonia nuts or something? Macarenia. Oh, the Southing game. Sorry. Yeah. My bad. It's back. Okay, this is really sick. This is actually such a cool thing. You know, I haven't seen an all-in like this in a very long time. Or a build like this. This is so rare. This is a really cool reactionary play. So Maru, he knew that Dark likes building the gold first, but didn't want to hard commit to something. Which is completely fair. Of course you don't want to hard commit to something. So Maru said, hey, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna scout early. Dark is gonna give up this base. Dark is gonna give up this base for now. So he moves back with the drones. He's playing gasless, so he's never gonna get speed. Playing gasless, by the way, is crazy if you take gold first. But this is a story for another time again. I wonder what your goal is now. So usually you'd say you want to kill drones, you want to kill Lings. What if someone doesn't defend their base? Do you then just start hitting the base? Like he just left this base behind. Like he just abandoned his house. Dark's getting a roach warrant, but he doesn't even have any gas mining yet. Because he starts now, he's gonna get like 2 roaches. I don't think he can hold. I think this hatch is dead, no? It's macadamia? Yeah, there we go. It's not Macedonia. Macadamia nuts. I put some of those in sometime. And what? Very high tier. And some mango. I had some cherries this morning as well. Freaking cherries, man. All of this crap frozen as well. Frozen fruit. I even read that frozen fruits are healthier. Because fruits and vegetables, they lose their vitamins when they're just out there in the produce section. But the frozen ones, they get, it's called flash freezing, which I think just means freezing them really fast. Or it means that the StarCraft 1 player Flash breathes on them with his cold breath. But that sounds less likely to me. And then they retain way more of their vitamins and minerals. And thus it's healthier. And if you put it in smoothies anyway, the taste doesn't really change. I actually think frozen fruit is tastier. But I'm not sure if that's true. Three drone kills here is pretty big. This is such an interesting game. I'm just thinking about this game. I'm not entirely sure what to say about it. Because this is a... You know what I mean? Like... Dark lost 300 minerals. But Maru delayed his base for 40, 50 seconds or so. And then Dark made no effort trying to defend his base. And still played gasless early in the game. So... In my mind, Maru should be ahead. And I think he is ahead. But at the same time, it's like... Does he right now have an advantage? I mean, if he's going to kill 15 workers with his 4 Hellion drop, yeah, he's going to get an advantage. This is outside of Ovi range? No, Ovi sees it. Right? Ovi saw that, yeah. Ooh, 4 Hellions. Maru has good control on these cars, by the way. You'd be surprised. That professional players are good with units. That's good. That's big. He's gonna pick it up and piss off. Wouldn't Reaper harass and 1 Marine in the barracks be a better call than Reaper attacking the golden base? I think it's... With our information, that probably would have been true. Because it was gasless. But what if it isn't gasless and speed finishes 3 minutes and 20 seconds like Dark does very often, right? And then the marine damage output might not be enough to kill the hatchery. And then you invested all of this into not getting a kill. So I think what Maru did here was the safer play. But in this particular situation, I agree with you, that would have been better. But I'm not sure if Maru could have gathered that info necessarily. He maybe should have scouted his opponent's natural with the Reaper for the timing on that hatch. This is a big drop. Stim is done as well. It is 87 supply to 103. This Spore is going to get taken out. I think Dark is just in a lot of trouble here. He actually just is. Double Evo chambers are about to finish up. 48 workers to 53. Faster upgrades here for the Terran player. Oh, it's going to drop on top of this, which is wild. That means that at least one of these Ravagers is going to go down. Maybe a second one. Marine's not going to get the kill. That was a bad trade there for Maru if I've ever seen one. Oh, ends up getting both? What the hell happened? I was busy pointing at the screen and then didn't look. That's pretty big, actually. I even still would have liked Maru's position more, though, before. Just because he has these upgrades so fast. He has good eco. I don't think he can die to a 1-1 Roach push. And I don't think Dark can easily transition into Ling Bane either. So we just have a lot of situations here where... Like, a lot of scenarios in which I don't entirely see how Dark is going to maneuver into a stable mid, or let alone a late game. Like, this fort base is not... This is not a secure-looking fort base, you know? This guy is... Yeah, not a confident fort, let me tell you that. Not a confident fort. It is the guy standing in the corner in the club with his beer, reading the label. So, 180 calories? Never knew. 2 grams of protein in a beer? That's crazy. You know? Let's take a look at what my shoes look like again. And that for 3 hours. That's what that fort base feels like. You know? Yeah. You're not walking onto the creep. Take a look at the fort and think to yourself, that is a fort base. That looks like he knows what he's doing here. That fort base is in danger. And that fort base is well aware. One is finishing up. Here we go. It's a lot of Ravagers, not a whole lot of Roaches. Ooh, good split. Less good split on the Medivacs, but that started okay. Roach flank coming in. Ooh. That tank pickup was just in time. The Roach flank must have come as a bit of a surprise. Well, or maybe not, because Maru was ready for it, but... Okay. Dark is making things happen. He's gonna straight up move across the map. He's just sending it, isn't he? Feels like he's almost sending it. Six Ravagers. Bunch of Roaches. We have Infestors. Melee upgrade. Carapace +2. You know what moment I'm deadly afraid of in this game? Is the 2-2 finishing. Because look at that Carapace timing. That is what? 90, 95 seconds away? Maru's gonna hit 2-2 with an insane army supply. Like, he's gonna be maxed with 2-2. Tanks versus pure Roach Ravager Infestor. No Baneling speed. High Marine count. Like, if he doesn't hit any Fungals on Marines... It's gonna be rough, you know? I think Maru should be moving out right now. Like, given the state of this game, I think Maru needs to be hitting in 10-15 seconds from here on out. Ideally. He doesn't have to, but I think he would win the game straight up. We're going into a Spire. Now, an idiot might tell you that that's for Mutas. So I'll just tell you that's gonna be for Brutes. Dark is going to be playing a defensive Infestor Broodlord style here. To deal with the high tank count, I guess. That's why he wants Brutes. Ooh. 2 Medivacs and Marines going down. Big drop towards the main base. Not a huge fan of this. He's going to get a trade here initially because, well, there's nothing really... Oh my god. Not just initially, he's going to keep getting a trade. He didn't send enough. There's no Banes. These Marines might be capable of actually doing something. Like, imagine just a straight up push with like 6-7 tanks behind this. In my mind, the game would just end, no? He was up 2 upgrades. There were no Banelings against, what, 50-60 Marines? Nothing to deal with the tanks, reliably. It's not like it has to be an all-in. He had complete map control too. I guess he didn't want to risk anything. It felt like a missed opportunity. And you don't want to miss opportunities against Dark, because Dark is really good late game. Viper's coming out right now. We have Greater Spire about to finish up. Once these Brutes are out, your tank count... I don't want to say your tanks are useless. But they're a lot less useful if there's 10 Brutes all of a sudden. Like, this push out, this is just to defend the gold, I think. This isn't even a real push out, is it? This feels like a worse timing than he could have hit 3 minutes ago. Like, he has less supply and he doesn't have an upgrade lead anymore. And now we're still just gonna... I guess he wants to get rid of his tanks pre-Broodlord, maybe? Which would make some sense, if he knows that Broodlords are out. That was a bad Fungal. That's a good Fungal. Those are good piles. 1 tank goes down, 1 tank stays alive with very little HP. Pulls back a little, 1 tank dies. Good control here on the Ravagers. Baneling's trying to connect. This doesn't look good for Dark. It's gonna lose the gold for a second time this game. It's gonna be pushed back to 4 bases. Bigling run by coming out. First 3 Broodlords on the way. They're gonna be very useful though, these Brutes. Let me tell you that much. Can you Neural Parasite a Medevac full of units? No. You can only Neural Parasite transport devices if they're empty. Same with a Prism. Ooh. Couple of Biles hitting, big Fungal hitting as well. First Brutes now out. Here goes Dark. Only a single Viking here to help against the air units. It still feels like Dark is just being pushed back. Okay, 2 Vikings actually, and there's no anti-air. There's not a single Corruptor. There's gonna be a parasitic bomb party. Queen's trying to move in forward as well. 160 supplied to 190. Dark trouble spending his cash, as he has a lot of money in the bank. Could probably, well, not quite max out, but get pretty darn close. Not sure if he's ever going to get there, though. He's building a hatchery in the 5th. At the 5th. Couple of snipes. Ooh, hits an EMP there on the Vipers. That is big. Maru realizing that those Vipers are his ticket to dealing with the Vikings. 1 Viking gets taken out by Queens. Broodlords are trying to push this back. Good control out of Dark, who stays alive for now. 2nd Armory on the way. Cloak about to finish up on the side of Maru. Maru is just happily expanding behind this, by the way. He's getting a 6th base. He's trying to take out this 5th here. If he takes out the 5th, then he's up 2 bases. I mean, he's already outmining his opponent by 1k. This is just not looking very good. I wonder if there's Adrenal. I didn't see it getting researched, but I might have just missed it. He might have it. I can't recall if we had Adrenal. If one of you knows, please tell me. I think he might have it. It looks fast. Yeah, he has it. He missed it. Okay, I missed it. Okay, thanks. Yeah, Starport's gonna get taken out. This is a good run by it, honestly is. Ghost sniping these Broodlords, though. Yeah, that's an issue. Link sniping SCVs. Lots of Banes moving in forward. You have a little bit of a base trade. Oh, a little bit of a base trade. If Dark manages to hold here... No, never mind. Even he doesn't believe. I was thinking, what if he holds and he spends all of his cash and maybe... No. This was a terrible day of games. Legit awful. Yesterday was so good. I'm so sad. The first series today was good, wasn't it? What was our first series? Hero is Serral versus Solar was good. I mean, you know stuff sucks if the best game of the day is a ZVZ. Like, no shot. You guys want to complain a little bit? I feel like we have some complaining vibes right now. But every Terran is winning. I like that thought. It's also not entirely true. Oliveira and Bunny are 0-2. But we could complain if we want to. We're gonna leave our friends behind. Oh, what the hell is this? Okay, let's take a look at the bracket for tomorrow real fast. There we go. So tomorrow we start with Max Packs Hero. This actually gonna... No, we don't start with that. We start with Shin Clem. This could be a hidden banger. Could also be one-sided. Firefly Hero. Or Firefly Rainer, sorry. Oliveira Bunny. So we have 2 very good games. Shin versus Clem and Max Packs versus Hero. This TVT is going to be awful. And then Firefly Rainer has potential to become wild. Firefly is good at preparing. He had 2 days to prepare because he played yesterday and this match was decided yesterday. So he had 2 days to prepare. I think he might be capable of making it a game. If he has good builds, and he usually has good builds, he knows how to optimize. Who's better, Firefly or Trigger? Firefly, yeah. I find Firefly very, very good. Also, thank you, Veloci Rapper SC2 for the Twitch Prime subscription. And Akira and Viking Plague. Look at you. I missed all of that. Have you seen this? I hadn't seen that. True and goaded. What would you play build-wise against Raynor as toss at the moment? The same as I played against him last time, probably. You need to have a healthy mix of openers. You can play Stargate exclusively. That's possible and allowed. You don't have to mix in Glaive builds, but you need to be capable of playing Charge Archon, Blink, Glaive, and double Stargate openers. So you need 5 different type of openers, and all openers need to look exactly the same. If you can do that, you're fine. You're going to get behind, you're going to get ahead sometimes based on the openers, but all openers have unlimited potential. You need to be capable of playing all of them. And then based on what your opponent is most likely to do, you can guess or you can pick. But you need to play everything. Absolutely. Late game is good for toss. Split army ground is very good for toss, I think. So a lot of maps are good for toss. Some maps are bad. I think PvZ late game is toss favored. TVP late game, Terran favored. TVC late game, Terran favored. TVT late game is a mid. It's just Cyclones at this point. All right. Let's see. Do I need to do anything else today? Maybe run some ads? Click the money button. Love to see it. Serral getting blinded. Hey, the Serral Solar series was very high level. It was very fun to watch. Thank you, SE2 fan Terran player. I appreciate the nice feedback. If Shin and Firefly both win 2-0, they take out the GOAT from top 8, or am I dumb? You might not be dumb. You just potentially could be misunderstanding the system, though. So, I haven't really explained the system, so maybe that's on me. So this is a Swiss system. And in this particular version of the Swiss, I think it is not called a real... Is it? Is it a real Swiss? It might be real Swiss. I don't know. Anyway. I don't think it's real. It doesn't matter. Basically what happens is that if you lose 3 series, you're out. So Trigger lost 3 series and he's out. Okay? If you win 3 series, you go to the top 8. That's just what happens. So people that went 2-0 play against someone that also went 2-0, right? So if we hover over max packs, we see max packs beat Firefly and then beat Shin. We can also just, poop poop. And now he's fighting Hero, who also went 2-0 in matches. Dark and Maru fought each other. This hasn't been updated yet. So Maru right now is in the round of 8. We don't know what seed he is. Or well, I don't know what seed he is, but I think it's based on these standings. And I don't know who was the highest. So Clem is the highest, MaxPax second highest. So if MaxPax wins tomorrow, he's going to be seed number 1. Because he has the most WTL points, or whatever they're called. Just points. He has the most points. This is what the seeding is based on, I think. For the group, nothing was seeded. I think they'll seed on the points. It has to be, no? So, if Clem beats Shin, Clem goes to play a 2-1 player. So that could be Dark, Serral, or Cure, right? Or the winner of Firefly versus Raynor. If Clem wins. Am I missing someone? Pure, Dark, Serral, Clem, Raynor? That's 5 people. How does that make any sense? Am I stupid? 2-1. Oh, but these people are... How does that work? Seeding is based on map score? Oh, is that so? I didn't read any of the stuff above here. Oh, you're right. Map score differential, head-to-head records. They would be seeded randomly. Okay, cool. Can you donate $69 to the prize pool? You could. Right now, the prize pool is 42,110 USD and 59 cents. Because it's 300k Chinese yen. So that's currency exchanged. Yeah, I'm just excited for the rest of this. All right. We'll be back tomorrow then. Banging matches, Max Pax Hero. I'm looking forward to that a lot. We're all cheering for Max Pax because he's cool. Loser of Hero vs. Max is also 2-1. There you go. I missed that. Thank you. I just couldn't get it. I didn't understand it. I appreciate you helping me out there and not making fun of me. That's very kind. All right. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks so much for watching. We'll be back. Bye-bye.